I've made my debut here in the late 70s. I think it probably even was with Herbert von Karajan, who started to work with me in 1977. I have a French grandmother on my father's side, and for which I am called Sophie, which makes half of my name. I grew up at the French border in the Black Forest. Switzerland, France and Germany meet at that particular point, and France was very much cultural center of my upbringing. Not only la cuisine française, but also literature, French literature. My parents are very Francophile, and Émile Zola and Jean-Paul Sartre were one of my, and still are, and Simone de Beauvoir are one of the many favorites of my writers. Then I got to know Henri Dutilleux later on, who also wrote a piece for me. So I think my bond with France is rather long and very, very strong. I have wonderful friends here. Playing in Paris always has been particularly exciting because the audience seems to be so engaged into the concert life. Not at all blasé about pieces they know for a long time, but it was clear that Paris, like Munich, needs a really proper third or fourth great concert hall. So I'm particularly happy for all the music lovers, and it's a great signal for Europe that such a hall like the Philharmonie in Paris is going to come about and is going to be such a landmark for the city, but also for Europe, as I see it. It's clear that the Philharmonie in Paris is having the Philharmonie in Berlin in mind as a possible example of having people surrounding the artists, which is a very beautiful philosophical idea, and it also works acoustically well. Of course, there have been other halls like the Boston Symphony Hall, where this is not the case, where you have a shoebox, and that also works. But I personally like to be surrounded by an audience, and I think it's for the audience also exciting to choose at a given program. Do I want to see for once the face of the conductor, you know? So sit in back of the stage. How close do I want to get to a performance? How close do I want to get to the orchestra? Do I want to have a viewpoint from the right side, you know, into a certain section of the orchestra? I think it makes music also more, in a very positive sense, eventful, if you have a choice to be really part of the whole group instead of having this one-dimensionality. It really adds to the three-dimensional acoustical and visual effect of music making. It seems to be a project which is a pure labor of love, but it's done very thoughtfully. And you know, Jean Nouvel, he constructed one of my very, very favorite halls, the one in Lucerne at the festival, for which Karajan had waited really decades. And it's beautiful, it's functional, it is part of the surroundings, it blends in with the landscape. It is what modern architecture also in Paris will be, just a landmark, and in its beauty a great a triumph of the human spirit, you know.